Okay, we are live again for our lovely Thursday night chat with Red Birth Green After Dark. I am Erica Goothouse, the conjurer of birth reclamation for Rooted and director of Red Birth Green. And as you know, this month we have been doing kind of a deep dive conversation exploring all things related to decolonizing everything. And that's looked like a few different things related to parenting. Last week, we started the conversation of what it looks like to decolonize birth. And this week, we are starting part 2 of that conversation with one of my lovely friends and colleagues in this work. And so right now, I'd like to introduce you to Terry Kirkpatrick. I'm going to let her tell a little bit about herself because I like letting people give themselves praise. But I've had the pleasure of knowing Terry for about 5 years, 6 years now, and doing this work initially alongside one another and now in separate realms. So I'm really thrilled that she was able to join me tonight to add a little bit of a different perspective because she's outside of our media area. Kama, I know this echo. I cannot get rid of it. Is it really bad? Because if it is, we're going to start this whole thing over again. I'm going to wait for the comments to catch up just a little bit. Terry, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll see if we can work it out.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate you having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to this opportunity to share and do dialogue. Well, my name is Terry Kirkpatrick. I am a community health worker, and I've been doing that work for approximately 23 years, and also I am a certified birth doula. I work with maternal infant health. I serve the underserved population, which is the Black African American women, Latino women, due to them having the highest infant mortality rate in the state of Michigan. And that's a little bit about me. I'm a mother. I have 3 lovely children, and I love what I do, and just glad to be here to dialogue with everyone.
I'm thrilled that you're here too. We have these conversations regularly, just the 2 of us. And so I'm really glad to be able to share some of that with the rest of the world. So this is a huge conversation for us to try and cover. But I want to start because you have a little bit different perspective in your daily work. And I want to kind of celebrate some of the successes that we see. And what are you seeing as some of the wins right now within the field of infant health?
Some of the wins that I see through my lens is that seeing more people have access to healthcare, which plays a very important part of our next generation. Healthy pregnancies, healthy babies, because they're our future. So that's very important, and I'm glad to see that it's accessible for people.
For sure. So are you seeing that like on a clinical level or more access to programs or both?
It's both. It's both.
What is engagement looking like right now, especially with COVID? Obviously, that's changed the landscape of everything for everyone. What is that looking like for the families that you work with?
Well, it's a blessing because we still are able to serve our clients through telehealth and also virtual platform. So that's the good thing about it. We're able to see that mom as her stomach grows, as she's laying down when she needs to, even after birth, seeing how those babies are starting to scoop, coo, and have head control and things like that. So we still have that connection with them, which is great. It's really, really good.
Yes, I love that is an option still, especially for work that's so high touch for us normally and in person, that we're just able to continue having that contact with clients in a way that's meaningful for not just for them but for us. So having access is fantastic. Continuity of care, even in the pandemic, is also awesome. Where are the gaps?
Can you repeat that again? It kind of went out.
Where are the gaps in care right now that we're seeing?
Well, the gaps in care is that system-wide, because one entity cannot solve anything. It takes a whole collaboration and nation. What is missing is the holistic approach in the healthcare system. And it should be more patient-centered as well. And, making sure that when that patient go to their appointments, that they're being heard, they're being valued, they are being communicated to properly, and explain detail for them, because some people walk in there don't trust. They feel like their feelings is like ignored, and they're just, instead of it looking at quality, they look at a number. It needs not to feel like they're going through a drive-through, you're in and you're out. Because when taking care of someone, it should be very authentic, and it should also be very engaging, and it's also should make the patient feel like value, because that's what we go into healthcare for, right? We supposed to have best interest for our patients, and also the outcomes. So if they feel safe, if they feel heard, if they feel trusted, that open up a whole door that will help them want to engage and want to share and want better outcomes from themselves, because they feel like they just in this bubble. They don't know when to ask questions, what to ask, and then they don't even know what they're advocating for. If it's not the holistic approach, even by being use education is a powerful key. Educating them. If they don't understand something, give them the information, have a dialogue with them, ask them what don't they understand. Just don't send them in and then send them out.
Yes. The education piece is so significant. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? Because we can take for granted being in our positions, just working knowledge, right? So what I'm also seeing is a trend right now that utilizes doulas as the education piece. Like the doulas can cover the whole spectrum when it comes to education. Just give these, underserved populations a doula, and then all will be well. What are your thoughts on that?
It takes more than a doula. It takes more than a doula. It takes everyone to be involved, to make sure that this mom or this family have a healthy pregnancy, healthy outcome birth, memorable moments during birth, and collaboration, and motivation, and education.
All the sun, right? No, but
and advocating,
and advocating, and that's a challenge. I still see it as a challenge. I know you and I've talked many times over about how we feel like we're still recycling the conversation we've been having previously, right? I also believe that progress is being made, and a lot of that stems from this lens, this viewpoint of decolonizing everything and asking questions, asking why. And so, what does that look like? Like, what does it mean for you? For the statement, like, we're going to decolonize the healthcare system, we're going to decolonize the medical industrial complex. What does that look like for you?
Well, with everything that has been going on from decades, this is not new coming to the table. This has been going on for ages, even before we were even thought of. Justice need to be served. Culturally, listening to individual system change, so that everyone can benefit and have access to the same quality of care. Because it's only right to just listen and just let people's voices be heard, because we all say that we want the same outcomes for everybody across the board, but we need to be a little bit more taken seriously, but also having accountability. You can tell me this, we see this issue, we see this, and you start in the beginning when it first hit the fan, but then it starts to die down. So now we're back to square one instead of doing the continuum of what do we need to do differently that everyone will be patient-centered equally, treated different, treated the same, equality across the board for everyone. It's only right and it's only fair.
Yeah, absolutely. You use one of my favorite words, and it's accountability. Because ideas without action, without accountability, get us nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I think sometimes it can feel overwhelming to talk about accountability for an entire system, right? When we're individual people, sometimes groups of people or partnerships like working to make change. But how can we do that? How can we hold this larger system accountable?
I think through trainings, trainings, and not just bringing training, but also people with integrity that's going to be doing the training as well. You know, that's where the accountability come in. You can come in and do a training on an important subject and give you all the necessary education you need, but you have to apply it. You have to apply it. You know how they say you talk the talk, walk the talk, and vice versa, but you have to put it to action. And people need to be held accountable for it, because you can teach me a training or I get educated on diversity and things like that. But am I going there with an open mind for change and for me to want to apply this for myself, knowing that this is going to be better for better outcomes, if that makes sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. And, it's one thing to engage with the training or just show up for it. It's a whole nother to like embody that and then apply it to your daily work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I always feel so encouraged and exhausted at the same time when we dig into this topic because it's so huge. And I know I keep saying that it's so big. How do we do this? How do we work? How do we continue to impact change? What are we missing? How do we do it differently? But I also think that there are just so many things that are happening that are good and are right and are doing exactly that, right? Doing small things with great consistency is kind of what has been keeping me going in this work. And what keeps you working? You've been working with this population in different ways for a very long time. How do you keep at it? Motivated?
I can hear you.
Oh, are you able to hear me, Terry?
Okay, nope, you went out. You went out, sorry.
Okay. How are you able to stay motivated to keep doing this work after all these years and feeling like it's an uphill battle sometimes? Like, how do you keep going into the trenches all the time?
Well, I don't look at it as work. This was my calling. I know it was my calling, and I accepted the call, and I am so passionate about what I do. So I wake up looking forward to be a change agent. Even if I touch one person's life that day, I did what I was called to do. So long as I'm here, this is what I'm going to continue to do, because this is what God called me to do. And I am so elated that I've met so many people along the way that we have engaged, we have cried together, we have embraced together, we have seen success stories, we have seen them come from the bottom, going all the way to becoming social workers, nurses, because they had a cheerleader. They had a cheerleader because I believe in them. Regardless of where they were at, I met them where they were. I didn't come in with an agenda. I came in with an open heart, transparent, non-judgmental mind, seeing the good in every individual that I meet, because you see something in them that they may not see. So when you come meeting them where they're at and you tell them that you care, you have to show them that you care. So if they wasn't ready to make that first step, you still continue to support them, walk by them hand by hand, empowering them, encouraging them, letting them know that they're capable to become anything in life they want to be. Long as they have that support, and you may be that only support person in their life for change and for someone to listen to them, because sometimes people just need you to listen, not always come in problem solve or look and seeing, okay, well, they didn't do this. No, meet that mother or that family or that father, whoever, in that moment, because that's where the trust come in at, because you are showing them that you care and that you're listening to them.
So many important things. So you touched on what I love talking about, which is how the work needs to happen within the context of a trusted relationship, right? You need to embody the work. It has to be a part of you. This is a calling, right? Like, this is not for the faint of heart to show up and do this every day. But most importantly, you talked about listening and meeting people where they are and not having expectations for yourself, right? And just, I think so often people, when they engage with the system, they have experiences where they're very solutions based and like, oh, you shared this problem and I have an answer for you, instead of just saying, I'm here. And the difference that can make, that could be the first time ever in somebody's life that they've had someone show up with consistency to say, I'm here. However you need me, I'm here, right? That's so simple. It's so simple. We can extend that. Regular people, you don't have to be a birth worker. You don't have to be a community health worker. You don't have to be in the medical field. Like, we can extend that to one another to just say, like, I'm here. However you need me, I'm here for that. We're here for you and here for that. And I feel like that too, like, that's community level accountability and how we show up for one another, right? Which is reclaiming the village and decolonizing like our entire lives, right? And just showing up in a very different way for one another. And I love that, like taking it back to those basics of just kindness and humanity, right? But sometimes it feels we're so far removed from that, and I'm really hopeful that we're able to get back to that in some way, and even if it's just one person at a time.
Yeah, and even just baby steps, those small successes mean a lot, especially when they didn't have no hope, and to praise them for what they did try to accomplish in baby steps, just giving them praise and just acknowledging, like, look what you did today. You know, doing those teach back questions. How do you feel the last time I seen you and we talked about this? You know, just meeting them in the moment is so important. And then just showing them, like, you are really concerned and caring about their well-being. That right there alone mentally can help a person want to keep going, because you might have been that only one who gave them any positive feedback or saw good in them.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm like, I want to do an all call, like, to healthcare providers, right? And be like, are you listening? Like, it's really, to show up in those high stress situations of medical appointments and, you know, or surgeries, all of those things. Like, the work we do is related to birthing bodies, right? But it's anything within the medical system. So for providers to show up and just be human for a second with another person and, take pause and just take a moment to actually listen can make such a huge difference. And I think that really that's a place to start. To do that with consistency can make a world of difference for so many people.
It does. It really does. And then something you keep in mind, that all providers not like that. Just to clear, all systems have work to do. We live in an imperfect world. So, sometimes they have their moments, but give them grace. But hopefully by the end of the day or by the time they do have that, patient interaction, that they be okay.
That's part of restoring the humanity, right? Like we're talking about it, like show up as a human for those patients or those clients, but it's a whole circle, right? Because those providers are human too, and they're not perfect. None of us are. And so I think like that's when we restore the humanity to a situation as a pathway to decolonizing. We have to remember that we do have to extend grace in both directions, and that it's not, we can't just be like, you have to show up better for me and not show up better in return.
Yes. That is so true.
Those small things, right? Like I want better for myself, but I don't want to give better in return. No, we have to also be, do better. And again, when you know better, you do better, right? And so these conversations allow us to know better and then in turn extend better in return. And I'm just so grateful. So grateful for the opportunity to do this and to show up and to have shared learning and passing of wisdom and knowledge in this way. I'm so grateful for you being willing to join me tonight and have this conversation. Let's do it again. I would love to do this again. Keep things going. So a little bit of housekeeping. So we're here Thursday nights at 8:30 for Red Birth Green After Dark to talk about it. All the things, and we love for you to join us. We love when you hop in the comments, ask questions. We're always here for that. You can always find these archives both on IGTV at Red Birth Green or on Rooted's Facebook page as well. And you can always contact us at via the contact form at redbirthgreen.com. If there's something you want to know about, you want to talk about, you want to like lean in and have somebody really like say the hard things and ask the hard questions, let us know. That's what we're here for. So until next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, rest, hydrate, and be well. Thanks everyone.